The weather is great. It's sunny. It's not very cold. It's not very hot. So the weather is just perfect. Thank you. How is it in Kiev, Alex?
Yeah, the weather is nice. The weather is nice. A little bit too hot. Yeah, but now it's getting cloudy. Artem, I am learning about LivaRava services, and I saw on the website that one of the services is lead management. And so could you please tell us a little bit what is lead management? I mean, I have some leads, I have some contacts. Maybe some are better, some are more promising, some are less promising. How can I manage my leads? I need artificial intelligence.
Okay, that's a nice question. That's what we really like to do, as we love our job and our products and our services and our customers. So lead management is very essential for every business. So if you take every business, the main goal is actually the sales. So if we have sales, it means that we will get revenue and finally we can have profits. But what should you do before making a sale? You should find somewhere your customer, your potential customer, and that's what is lead about. So lead is the information about the need of your potential customer, and then you can convert it to the sale. And yeah, that's why lead management is so important, because the most of marketing efforts are going exactly into the direction of generating these leads. And that's why it's so important to get this lead and then convert it to the sale.
Yeah, and Artem, I'm sure that most of our audience are advanced people, but just I came across this term sales funnel, and I saw this picture on the internet. What is sales funnel?
Yeah, sales funnel is actually a journey that your customer is taken during this trip from the his need and interest, and then he finally find your product or service, and he became aware and he start to learn more. Then probably he needs some arguments why your product is better than other or your service is better than other, and finally he can be convinced that you are the best option for him. And that's how this sales funnel works. So that's why it's so important to make this funnel efficient, so the conversion rate will be high.
Wow, I like this expression, high conversion rate. And Artem, I saw on the website that LivaRava has developed or is developing some sort of a sales management system. Could you tell us a couple of words? How can we manage sales? What is a sales management system?
Yeah, thank you. Sales management is also a process. So you have some information about your customers and you have to make contact with them. It's better to make it even emotional contact, not only rational, because but it could be different types of people. Sometimes people just don't need emotions at all. Some of them are really emotional. So that's how the sales actually is made. So, but it is a process. So first you have a first contact or a calls, and you have a presentation or a meeting, and finally you talk about some specific needs and making some agreement, and in the end you sign a contract or sending invoice, and finally this invoice is paid. And that's how the whole process from the beginning till the end is managed. And if you have not many customers, it's easy. But if you have many and it's growing, and your sales team is not only you, but the whole team, maybe 5-10 people. So there where it's became more complex. So there where you should probably have some software. The name for this kind of software is customer relationship management. And of course, in LivaRava as a knowledge management platform, we have some products that do this work for you. But what probably the unique for our system and platform that's as we using a very structured data. So actually the knowledge about your customers, about the products, about the services, we can create a really valuable connections between them. And this is where machine learning and artificial intelligence is very efficient. So it can analyze a lot of dependencies, and it gives you the very best advice, what you should do or what you can do to improve your sales management process.
It sounds very interesting, because sometimes, sometimes I call my partner or a potential customer, and I say, "Oh, John, it was nice talking to you last week." And he said, "This is not John, this is Bill." I'm saying, "Oh," and then my conversation is not going well. Yeah, so this system sounds useful.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes this sales process can take months. So it's very depending of the type of your product or service. Sometimes it could be very fast and transactional. Sometimes it could be a very long process. For example, some construction work of buildings or some medical lab. So from the beginning till the end, you are going through the very long process that will last for months. So how you will manage it? It's better to have some systems that will remind you, that will give you all the history of your interactions. And even if you will be on some vacation, or unfortunately everybody sometimes sick, and even if you are not available, but your teammate can support you, and he can do some work for you, with you. And that's how it works. That's why it is so efficient, because you don't need to remember everything. You can use your time and switch to other customers, and that's how every salesperson could be even more efficient, as he can manage more customers in the same time. But you will not lose any information. That's very important.
Yeah, sounds interesting. So the company that has better sales management system wins.
Yeah, for sure.
Artem, and I found out that there is a LivaRava Community. Could you please tell us a couple of words? What is LivaRava Community?
Yeah, so during our evolving as a company and as a community, we realize that sometimes sometimes there are some people that's interested in our products or services or a company, but not every time we are ready to start some project. But people want to learn more. People, it's natural. We all try to be better, to grow as a personality, as individuals, and professionally, and yeah, in general. So we just create this community that will have people to join our great people all around the world. Mostly it is entrepreneurs, very experts in their niches, investors. So mostly those people who create a lot of value, and that's how we exchange our knowledge in this community and helping each other. Sometimes it could be your partners, sometimes it could be your customers, sometimes it could be your employer, who knows. And but this is all people that mostly connected and related to our company or our activities. Yeah, so yeah, it's very nice people all around the world, and you can take a lot of value for yourself or your business, growing together with this community.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. Many people work remotely these days, and they feel lonely. So it sounds like a good idea, business community, and people can make good friends and exchange useful ideas.
Yeah, correct. I remember during my life in Kiev in 2012, we have founded first Ukrainian hackerspace, and it is also a great community, and it still exists. I'm very happy about it. And but in some moment, this community started evolving, and that's how our company was established, and that's how our community was growing as well. So there are some mix of different people from hardware startups, from software startups. And yeah, that's amazing when you can go to Europe, to United States, even to Asia or New Zealand, and you can have some friend there. Maybe it's not your best friends, but at least it is a very nice people that you can talk to, you can learn from. So yeah, that's amazing to have this great community all around the world. And yes, as we like knowledge and all these technologies, you can also use artificial intelligence to improve yourself. So we have some assistants that based on your profile also suggest you some ideas what you can improve to be better.
Wow, that sounds interesting. I would like to get some suggestions from artificial intelligence. And Artem, as far as I understand, LivaRava started as a startup. And as usual in the audience, some people are better informed, and some people are less informed. What is a startup? What is it like? And what are some good examples of some successful companies that started as a startup?
Yeah. First of all, startup is a new business. So I believe that the best way to characterize the startup is when it's like a new one, and you still in the process of finding the best market niche for your startup. As you know, if you're already a business, you don't have this question. So, okay, what will I do? In startup, you have some vision, you have some problem, you have some vision, you have some mission, but you are like, you know, in the constant process of chasing the niche, and you're still experimenting with your business model, and you try to make this model profitable. And when finally you find it, I suppose this is the moment when your startup became business. And some companies can stay in the startup mode for years. Some of them can reach this break even point for very long time. So yeah, it can take years. But yeah, the main idea is that startups is like a new company, but it seems like already a business. Yeah, and it can be constructed from, I mean, the people that's in the team could be very, very professional and have a big experience from the past experience in different companies, and that's how this new startup is created, with experience, with the knowledge, with the skills, and of course some capital. And this is what we will talk about, I suppose, today. So how to fundraise money for your startup.
Yeah, speaking of capital for a startup, from the point of view of an investor, what are some of the advantages of investing in startup in comparison with keeping money in the bank? Now some, when the economy is a little bit volatile, even sometimes some banks collapse. So what are the advantages of investing in a startup in comparison with keeping money in a bank?
Startups is definitely not for beginners, because startups are a high risk investment. So majority of startups is losing money, like usually. So about 80 to 90% in the end are not successful and doesn't bring money to investors. So yeah, it's a very high risk investment, but those 10-20% that's surviving, they bring like 10x profit for investors. And that's still, this game is very attractive for investors that can afford this risk for themselves.
Yes, thank you. Sounds interesting. So it sounds like startups need investors and investors need startups because money, it looks like money doesn't just multiply by itself. You need a startup to generate profit. Then you can make some money from your investments. But it seems they are physically, they're located in different places, you see. So all these startups are are developing their wonderful products. And how can startups establish contacts with potential investors? And because to make a deal, as far as I understand, they need to meet and discuss the idea, and discuss their plans. How can they meet?
Nowadays, with all these great technologies and Zooms that we are using right now, and YouTube and etc., still the best way to cooperate with investors is live meetings in person. So investors also people, and it's I should say, as more I work with startups, it's not only about money. Of course, money are involved, but it's not only about the money. It's more about vision. It's more about mission. It's more about impact that startups are making. So every startup in some way want to improve the life of people, and it's even more powerful motivation for everybody. And that's why sometimes the best investor is not the investor with money, because if the investor and startup only oriented on money, that means it's in a crisis, the risk of not surviving is increasing. As if you are motivated only with money, investor will start losing money, so he can give up. Startup, if he's interested only with money, during the crisis, they also can give up. So, but if you are motivated with a vision, with the values, with a mission, even in a very hard times, like now, when we had pandemic, when we have a full-scale war in Ukraine, we still be strong and continue to implement our mission, just because we are staying on it. And investors and startups, startup founders. So money is definitely a goal. Money is definitely a measure of the values that you are creating together, but it's not the only one goal. And if you will be motivated only with money, you can suffer a lot in a time of crisis. And fortunately, our team has survived several crises, and I'm very proud about it. Yeah, during the crisis, you can feel a lot of discomfort. You should do some things that you never did before, but that's what makes you stronger. It's what makes your team stronger, and that's finally how you can make some impact to the market, to the society. Yeah, that's amazing. And of course, during this journey, it's better to have a great allies, your investors. But if they're just very rational and pragmatic, or maybe sometimes cynical people, probably is not the best one to have.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Investors are not robots with artificial intelligence. They are real people. It's good to know. And Artem, that sounds very interesting. Let me get a little bit off track of our trajectory of our discussion. So you mentioned this interesting idea. So how, maybe what are some of the ways, what should startups do to survive through turbulent times? What are the best strategies? Yeah, so sometimes there are good times and there are a little bit turbulent times.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, during this period of uncertainty, for the founders, this period of uncertainty is actually a lifestyle. So yeah, it could be just more like bigger amount of uncertainty, or lesser amount of uncertainty, but uncertainty is a state of mind for entrepreneur all the time, as nobody can give you an advice what to do. This is only your decision. Yeah, you can have advisors, you can have some experts in consultancy, but in the end you need to make your decisions. And probably you just have to be more creative. You need to be more aware, you need to be more observative. So during the crisis, the most important is to understand what causing the crisis, and what's going on, and where all these going, because observation during this moment is even more important than actions, because before you will take some actions, and in the startups you have always a lack of resources, and you cannot spend them just for nothing. And especially during the crisis, you should be like 2 times more attentive to what are you doing, and before some actions you should be very consciousness about the consequences, and that's how you can build a better strategy. So okay, this is what's happening, this is where it's going. Okay, what is the most efficient solution could be? What is the best scenarios? You just create scenarios that can bring you in a better place, So okay, this is a situation, I'm accepting it, so everything is going this direction, so I need to a bit, correct my moving. But without a vision, without a mission, you can be very distracted with all this uncertainty. That's why you need to have this very strong vision and mission, and that's what will keep you during this turbulence. So yeah, if the plane is flying and there is some turbulence, you will not change your direction you will not change your destination. You probably can be distracted a bit, you can have some shaking, but in the end you still will be moving in the directions that you were supposed to go.
Yes. Oh wow, thank you, Artem. Yeah, very interesting analogy. Yeah, between running a startup and flying a plane. Yeah, I like it. And attempt to attract. I mean, eventually we understand that IT people are dedicated people, but they need to make a little bit of money to, to support their families. So what are some of the tools that startups can use to convey the ideas to investors and to attract funding? And what, for example, what is an elevator pitch?
Yeah, just want to mention that we have some question from YouTube, so that's great. But let's keep it till the end of the episode. But that's great. Some guy just asked a very interesting question, actually.
Yeah, by the way, Artem, do you encourage people to leave some questions in the
Sure.
comments?
Sure, of course. Please, if you are watching us right now, or maybe later, please leave your comments, your likes, and yeah, subscribe to the channel. And by the way, this time we have put some additional information about our social networks and channels, so you can subscribe on every platform that you like. Yeah, for now we're still streaming on my personal channel, but and pages, but later we will switch to another channel. So yeah, I will be sharing the video as well, but we will switch to another channel because yeah, it's more relevant. So this Startup Garage Show will be an independent project. And yeah, subscribe, please subscribe. I hope you will find a lot of nice knowledge for yourself. And if you are an entrepreneur or a founder or just a person that's interested in all this high tech entrepreneurship, yeah, it's a great place to connect and to talk. So yeah,
Artem, yeah, what are some good ways to structure this elevator pitch? Yeah, to
okay, I just want to thank this guy made of rubber for his question. We definitely will ask answer. Yeah, in the end. And yeah, so let's come back to your question. So elevator pitch. Yeah, investors are mostly very busy people, and they usually have like tons of
proposals
and proposals. Yeah, even yeah, I'm not an investor yet, but I also have like dozens, sometimes even hundreds letters per day. And of course, it's very hard to answer to every letter. And I just can imagine how much investors have in their inboxes or messengers. So they definitely over communicating all the time. That's why it's very important to have your pitch very concise, very so it should take a very short time, but it should give a lot of information. So that's why it's an art how to put in a very small amount of time or space the information that will tell investor what actually you do, what kind of problem are you solving, what kind of solution do you have, what kind of team do you have, and why you probably can be successful. Yeah, of course, there should be some information about market size, as it's one of the most important parts of the team and the market, and of course, how do you plan to do it? But sometimes the solution could be changed. You know, startups making some pivots, and they started from one idea, then they switched to another, and then to the third one. So the idea and the product can evolve, or dramatically change during the journey, but the team will be the same, the market probably will be the same, the solution can change. Yeah, in some cases even market can change, but it's much more long process, a longer processes than pivoting. It's much easier to change your product than the market. Yeah, market is huge, and inertia on the market is very big. So
Yeah.
elevator pitch, yeah, just
Yes.
conclusion. So elevator pitch is a very short introduction of your startup, and why the name is elevator, because you should be able to pitch your startup during the trip on the elevator. So with your investor, for example.
Yeah, and so is it? Do you think it's okay to, you know, kind of to improvise when making your elevator pitch, or do you think it is better to rehearse it in advance?
It depends. It depends of the person. But it's definitely better to prepare, to be prepared. Yeah, sometimes if you are really good in sales, for me, selling the product and selling the startup is the same process, but different style a bit. You know, it's also selling, and but if you are selling products or services, that's one story. But here you're selling your startup and your team and your idea and your vision. So in some way, it is a similar process, and that's why, depending on the person that whom you are talking to, yeah, you can adopt your pitch to this person. For example, if this person is more interested in some area, so probably you should pitch your idea that's related or connected to his interest. Yeah, so it could be very individual in some way, but if you are not very experienced, you just can prepare your pitch as it is, so how you see it. And yeah, but it's better if you will adopt your pitch to the person. That's where the place for artificial intelligence as well.
Thank you, Artem, for your ideas. But what is the difference between an elevator pitch and the pitch deck? You know, it's a little bit confusing to me.
Yeah, pitch deck is what you should have. I suppose this is the main job of CEO, of Chief Executive Officer, as pitch deck is representing all the most important parts of your startup. It could be long, yeah, but usually it's about 12 slides. It could be different, it could be less, it could be more, but in general it's like about 10 to 12 slides. The most important is what kind of problem are you solving? What kind of solution do you suggest? What kind of market do you see, and the size, and then it's you probably can talk a bit about your product, how it works. Then how do you plan to go to markets? So something like your marketing strategy or business model. But sometimes it's not necessary. You can do it later. Then definitely you should talk about your team, show your team and what is the core expertise of your team. I suppose it's one of the most important slides after the market and problem, or somewhere close to it. Then, of course, you should be very concise what they're looking for. If you're looking for investment, how much, and how do you see this investment process? Yeah, sometimes you can put additional information about milestones, but it's not necessary. So for the elevator pitch, you probably will focus on the very, very essential parts. During the pitch, so elevator pitch is from 1 to 3 minutes, and like a typical pitch could be about 15 minutes or even bigger. Sometimes it could be even 45 minutes, but if you have time for it. In general, you should be able to pitch your startup even in 3 minutes. That's why you don't need to have a lot of slides. But if investor will be interested, he will definitely ask you to show more. He will ask you additional questions about your financial projections, your revenue or traction. Yeah, traction is also would be a slide. Yeah, but it depends. Yeah, it depends. It's a nice idea to show traction, but not all the time it's necessary.
Thank you. Thank you, Artem. Yeah, I guess it's good to have some traction. And and dealing with investors, from your experience, is it better to focus on kind of one major investor, or is it better try to diversify and get some investors from different investors? So what do you think is what is a better strategy?
It depends of the stage of startup. If you just started, okay, let's imagine why and how you will start it. Usually people start startups. It could be very, very unique story why people decide to start a startup. But usually you start with what? With your personal money. It's your savings, or you borrow some money from somebody. Usually it's your friends or family, or some people and just believe in your idea. Sometimes people say like fools, but I don't like this word. Usually, they can lose this money, but it's not because they fools. Probably it's just because they like yours, they love your idea, and that's why it could be happened. But yes, you should always say to people when you raise money that it's high risk investment. It's a big chance that you will lose this money, but we can try. So more it is investment into your idea and into you personally, and into your team, and your vision. So it's very important to be very honest. So if you see this risk, yeah, of course, in the very beginning, you can be very very obsessed with your idea. That's how you can be very convincible. But yeah, sometimes it could make a bad joke with you. So don't be very passionate. Yeah, it's good to be passionate about the idea and your execution, but sometimes it's bad to borrow a lot of money and not giving anything back. So yeah, but on the very beginning, it's mostly this starting point. Later, when you have some, yeah, I prefer to make revenue as fast as possible. So in this case, we call it bootstrapping. So you just bootstrap your business, and all the money that you earn, yeah, of course you can take some money for yourself or for your team, but also you reinvest it to the company, and that's how you can grow. Um, but sometimes it's not enough, so that's why you should find another opportunities. It could be some grants from different sources. So grants means that they will not take any equity from you, and sometimes there are some stages where you are not incorporated, so startup can work without a company even. So you just need to have a name and your sole proprietorship, and it will be enough. Private entrepreneurship can be named differently in different countries. So yeah, but when you feel it's a time for getting some additional people on board, uh, yeah, it's better to know who is it. Yeah, because investments is not only about money, it's also about those people that represent this money. I really like this mental experiment. Just imagine that you have an option to take money from different sources. One is a really good businessman with a great reputation and authority, and with a lot of connections, and he's really familiar with the markets where you are working on or just plan to work on. And another person, he also have a lot of money, but he's godfather of mafia, and he steal money, and yeah, and he's representing totally different culture, and we just can imagine how the processes will be evolving if you will take the money from these two different types of people. So of course, it's not only about money, as I said before, it's also about values and vision and mission. And that's why money will not solve your problem. Your creativity, your intelligence, your discipline, your team, that's what will solve the problem on the market and will create this value for which people will be ready to pay you, but not money itself. Money just will help you to make it faster. Yeah, it's just like a fuel, I can compare it with a fuel. Yeah, of
Fuel,
course.
yes.
Yeah, but it's also important where this fuel is coming from. And if it's toxic, this fuel is toxic, yeah, you probably can go somewhere, but then you will have some consequences.
Wow, good. So we are learning some useful ideas. And on the one hand, startups need investments, and there are some tools to attract investors. But on the other hand, it's good. It's good to be safe than sorry. So we wish everyone to attract good investors,
Yeah,
honest investors. Yes.
yeah, and I just want to remind that artificial intelligence is a great tool, and of course, I suppose it's a good idea to use artificial intelligence when you are not sure uh, what to do. Of course, you can still Google information, you can learn from different books, but yeah, for now, artificial intelligence is becoming a really good assistant. It will not tell you what to do until you will ask the correct question, but you are the one who asking the questions. You are the one who making these prompts. You are the one who understand where do you want to go, and how do you want to go, and with whom do you want to go. So artificial intelligence will not substitute you. Artificial intelligence can help you, but not substitute you and not do your work for you. You will do it for yourself, but with the better tools, it's much easier.
Yeah, interesting. I definitely want to learn more about artificial intelligence. Artem, and just to remind ourselves that there was a question from the audience.
Yeah, there a really nice question. So do you want me to read it? Yeah. So the guy from YouTube with the nickname made of rubber asked this question. Lazy people with AI won't get too far, no matter their stature. Soon, AI will turn on the slow and eliminate them for processing too slow. Using nodes. So, as I understand the question, yeah. So it's in, yeah. So it's like as
I understand
yeah, as
artificial intelligence is not only for lazy people.
uh, no, it means that AI will turn on the slow and eliminate them for processing too slow. Yeah. So after my reading of this great book of Daniel Kahneman, Think Fast and Slow, I don't think that slow thinking is bad. Actually, slow thinking is what is the best tool. And in the modern world, slow thinking is a leisure. I mean, it's a luxury opportunity in the modern world. Very dynamic, very uncertain, very unsecure. To have ability to think slow, it's a very big advantage. And artificial intelligence, what's the difference between our human intelligence and artificial intelligence? For me, the most important part is this ability of making cognitive efforts um, for a long time. So this is the same as with machines during the industrial era, when machines were substituting people in the physical job. people also was afraid of raising of machines, but it helped people to work less physically but more mentally. So cognitive abilities starting to evolve even faster. That's how we have created even more advanced technologies, informational technologies. And now we have these technological evolution that's bring us to the point where our cognitive efforts could be also or enhanced or even substituted. Who knows? I will not be to
Not prepared to bet to bet all your money on this.
Yeah, categoric. I mean, I don't want to to say it like it's already done, but I believe that it will bring us to even new horizons. I mean, people will not become dumber. Yeah, probably we will just, give this routine job to artificial intelligence, so it will just release our time. So we will have more time to think slowly. And that's where we will have this opportunity to reach even farther. I mean, new horizons. Who knows? And I believe that now artificial intelligence, when all these routine jobs will be substituted, we will have to evolve to the direction of new ethical codex, of new moral codex, or new spiritual codex, as artificial intelligence will force us to do it, because without it we are worse than machines.
Yeah, sounds Artem, sounds interesting and exciting. So by the way, last week we spoke about using artificial intelligence in marketing and sales. And do you think artificial intelligence can be used in attracting, establishing contacts with investors and attracting investments?
It's for sure very, very possible. More than that, it's already implemented in some systems. Yeah, we are not sponsored by any of them, so I will not be advertising these platforms. That's also what we are doing in our platform. So as I said, this process of interaction with investors is the same sales process. So you can use our technology to create your strategies and scenarios for communication with your investors, and that's a very efficient and great tool. And yeah, there are some systems. Yeah, that's what I can tell. There are some platforms where you can find a lot of available venture capital firms or angel investors, or different investment opportunities. And you can also tell about your startup, what is your stage, and what is your team, etc. So that's how matching is made. And of course, artificial intelligence just help to improve this process of matching, but still it's just a starting point. After this, you should have to communicate with specific investors, and artificial intelligence can help you, but will not do it for you, as every investor will talk personally to the CEO and founder of the startup, because nowadays we are not investing into AI, we are investing into people, into companies. And yeah, artificial intelligence cannot create a company yet.
Yes, artificial intelligence. So last week we spoke about using artificial intelligence in marketing and sales. And Artem, it sounds like you are sharing a lot of your good ideas with the audience. And so you mentioned that as any manager or CEO, you receive a lot of messages almost every day, and these messages probably come from different channels. So maybe it is a possible topic for one of our future discussions. How do in what way do you think artificial intelligence can be used in management and communication? So, for example, if you in the morning, if you receive about 100 or more emails and messages, and some of these messages could be very important and critical, and some of them could be probably not, you can read them in the evening, not urgent. So do you think artificial intelligence can be used to using maybe some keywords and filter and filter all these messages, and just on the top give you like 3 or 5 most important messages that morning? Do you think artificial intelligence can be used in management and communication?
For sure. It can. And yeah, now all these large language models, they're pretty good in summarizing texts. And the problem is still the same. Is the source of the information. So the best way is just not to subscribe, not to create this possibility when you have too much information. That's when you will not create a need for filtering, for additional filtering this information. So why should you seek something in a garbage? So just don't go to the places.
It's very the probability is very low. That you can find something.
This is a philosophy
valuable.
LivaRava and our core product NeighborNet. So you don't need to find something in a garbage. You just have to create the place where you will have only those things and information flows that you need to have. So this is more about informational hygiene. So it's a culture of consuming the information. It's a culture of communication. So you just create the channels that really matters for you, and don't over communicating. So it's also you should make some efforts for it, but it is worth it. And it's a culture. It's not just a tool that if you will filter garbage in the end, you will just will have sorted garbage, or some more important piece of garbage. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. So the best way not to waste your time is not creating the environment where you have these necessities.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. So, for example, I can imagine in the future, probably there could be a computer program that maybe, take my, blood test or scan my face, and this program based on artificial intelligence will give me a recommendation. What is the best food? What food is the best for me that day?
Yeah. Now we have a lot of systems like this. I know some startups that's doing a very good analytics for all biometrics, and yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, I think we are very close to this moment.
Yeah, or for example, again, this program or similar program can give me information what amount of exercise is the best for me that day. Yeah, should I go swimming or jogging? Yeah, what is the most beneficial for me that particular day?
There are a lot of application like this for now, but yeah, they still not using the whole available information about the person. But this is also another topic of the privacy and security. So yeah, we can talk about it later.
So Artem, I think I really appreciate this your idea of creating this LivaRava community of like-minded people, when people can make friends and exchange their good ideas. Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, but let's remind about the Startup Garage show. So this is also a great community, and yeah, I suppose it also will become bigger with every episode. So as you remember, we also inviting another startup founders to tell about their ideas. And yeah, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we will be happy to answer all your questions, and thank you for the questions this time. And the next time we will also answer to these questions in the platforms as well, but after we will finish. So yeah, thanks to everybody who is watching. I know for sure that people all around the world are watching the show because they're giving feedbacks, and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope it was interesting as before, and we will prepare even more interesting subjects with Alex for you.
Thank you for your ideas, Artem. You see, it is it's almost evening. It's like 8 and 9 p.m. in Europe, but it's we understand it is the middle of the day in California. So you're going to have a busy day.
Yeah, it's not even the middle; it's the morning. I even had no breakfast yet, but that's what I will do right now.
Yeah, thank you for your time, and have a nice and productive day.
Yeah, you too, Alex. My best wishes.
See you.